Alright, see you again everyone. So today we are going to continue our session with the new course book, and the course book that we are using from the previous session is the Blueprint 4. So in the previous session you already learned some of the key vocabularies on our lesson 1. And from the previous session up until now, it's a short time, but everyone, can you remember all those key words? I think you do, but let me test you how much you can remember from the previous sessions. So here I have 5 words on the whiteboard, and let's see, can you give the definitions to those 5 words without looking at your note or going back to the previous video? So how much you remember by just close your eye and think of each word? Sure, I think you might remember nearly most of them because all these words are very easy and simple words for all of you. So let's start with the first one is mother-in-law. So mother-in-law refers to a mother of your husband or your spouse. Husband or a wife, which means your spouse, husband or wife. But when your husband or your wife has brother or sister, how do you call that brother or sister? Right? You can call more than that. You can say brother-in-law, you can say sister-in-law, right? Because the word in-law here refers to a relative who are on your spouse side. And the second one is niece. Niece. Everyone, do you remember? Niece is a child, and she is a girl, and a child of your brother or your sister. So you call her your niece. But when your brother or your sister has a son, you call that son your nephews. Very good. And number 4, when you are getting old, you get grandchild. If you have more than one grandchild, it becomes grandchildren. So grandchildren referring to the children of your own children. So it sounds a little bit confusing, but put it this way: when you get old, you have families, and when you have family, you have son, you have daughter. And when your daughter, they are all grow up, they get married, and then they get their own children. So the children of your children, they call you grandpa or grandmother, and they are your grandchildren. Last but not least, we have the verb number 5 here, which is miss. So every people miss. Nowadays, I think you are missing something, right? You are missing our classroom. You are missing your friend. So miss here, you mean you feel sad, you feel unhappy because someone or something is not with you right now. Okay, so these are the words that we cover from the previous sessions, and I want you to pay attention to all those words, because at the end of the day, remember everyone, you will do some homeworks, and those homework in those homework you will see all this word. And what you need to do is to look at the pronunciations, pay attention to the meanings and spellings, and how to use this word in the sentence. Now everyone, after you already learned all those words and you listen to the conversations once already about visiting relative, so now I want all of you to think, everyone, I want all of you to think about your own experience. How about you? So here I have 2 questions. So the first one is, have you ever visited your relative before or during my New Year's last year? Sure, I think most of us have visited our relative, we went to our relative house in order to visit them, talk to them. Okay. And the second question is, what do you do when you visit your relatives? So what activities or what things that you will do if you visit your relatives? You just sit there and wait until the food is already cooked and go to eat, or you help your relative do the housework. You cook for them, you cook with them, and you help them doing the stuff when you visit their house. It depending on you, right? But I think you should help those people when you visit their house, because they will like you, and they think that, oh, this child is very hardworking. They help us doing a lot of things in our house. Okay. Now everyone, I want you to think about your experience. Is it a good experience that you have visited your relative? Is it fun for you? Sure. For me, I can remember when I was not long ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I visited one of my relatives and we have fun together. We eat a lot of food together, but I also help my relative cook that food. That is why we gather together and have a lot of fun. Very good, everyone. So in this video, we are going to look at that conversation again. But now, I want you to pay more attention to the people who are speaking in that conversation, because they will visit their relative. And do you know the relationship between two of them? Okay, if you want to see their face, you can open your books to page 20. So here on page 20, you can see there are two people, the women and a man. As you can see, a man is younger than the women's. Can you guess their relationship? Are they mother and son, or brother and sisters? Okay, you will know when you listen to the conversation once again and pay attention to those people speaking about visiting their relative. So everyone, now are you ready for the listenings? Okay, let's get started.
Track 10. Hi Sandra, happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Are you and Marie on your way?
No, Marie and the kids are still getting ready. I'm calling to say we'll be a little late.
That's okay. Actually, I still have a lot of work to do for dinner. I'm running late too, because I'm chatting online with my grandchildren in California.
Oh, how are they? And their parents? I miss them.
Fantastic. The kids are going to visit next month for a week, so we can look forward to that.
Great. Nina and John are my only niece and nephew, but I hardly ever see them. Hey, maybe I'll take them to a football game.
Yes, they'll love that. So, anyway, what time will you get here?
We'll be there at about 4:30. Want us to bring anything?
No, that's all right. Just be ready to eat a lot.
We're looking forward to the turkey. I always tell everyone about my mother-in-law's great cooking.
So after you finish the conversations, there are 5 questions for all of you to answer. So this is the comprehension questions. To answer those questions, you need to think of what you listen. So here is the conversations, and then you need to answer the questions. So here we have the first question. Why is Greeks calling Sandra? Right? Why is Greeks calling Sandra? What is the reason? Because she wants to tell that she is running late. Okay? So number 2, why is Greek running late? What is the reasons? Can you see the reason in your books? She said the reason clearly, because she is chatting online with her grandchildren. They are in California. So number 3, who are Nina and Johns? Who are Nina and Johns? They are Sandra, niece and nephews. Number 4, what time will Greeks get to Sandra's house? So he will get to Sandra's house around 4:30. Last but not least, what will they do at Sandra's house? Everyone? They will eat a lot. And do you know why they come together and eat a lot? Because on that day, which is the Thanksgiving Day, in American they celebrate Thanksgiving Day in order to get their relatives together and thank you for being in a good families. Most of the time they eat the big meal in the house, and those meals they have turkeys. And do you remember the word turkeys? I hope you remember that. So turkey refers to the animals, and it looks like a chickens, but it is bigger than the chickens. So people in the Europe or in Americans, they like to eat turkeys. Now everyone, think about your experience during some of our important events, for example like Khmer New Year's. I assume that you all have visited your relative, and can you remember the experience at that time? Was it fun? Was it a memorable experience? For me, it is very great experience because I can stay with the people that I feel close to, and I can eat a lot of things and talk a lot of fun things with my relative. It is a fun memories to remember. So everyone, don't forget, when you have holiday or some free time, visit your relative. You will have a great times with them. Now it comes to the end of our sessions, and I hope all of you catch up with the lesson. But don't worry, if you have some point that you are not clear, you can ask your teacher. And everyone, you will need to do some exercise and some homework, and if you get some point you cannot do it, feel free to ask. There is always someone there to help you, and that someone is your teacher. So don't afraid to ask, reach to us. We are always here to help you learn. Now everyone, it's time to say goodbye and see you again in the next video.